Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
Chodesh Tov, Chanukah Sameach. All right. What are we celebrating? We have three special occasions this evening. Shabbat, Chanukah, the new month, Rosh Chodesh, right? So we are celebrating Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh, and Chanukah. I want to put them in the official order because it's always, if you have Tadir, Ve'eno Tadir, if you have the regular things and the non-so-regular things, you order them according to the more regular. Shabbat comes more often than Rosh Chodesh, it comes first. Rosh Chodesh comes more often than Chanukah, it comes second. Chanukah comes but once a year, it comes number 3. Excellent. For tonight, it's not going to be that difficult. Yes, when we get to the Amidah, there are going to be some special insertions. Follow the instructions. A special paragraph for Rosh Chodesh, a special paragraph for Chanukah. You'll have to flip a few pages to find the Chanukah one, but it is listed in the Siddur. But tomorrow, in addition to including those passages as well as Hallel, we also have one of those rare occasions where we have not one, not two, but 3 Sifrei Torah to be read from. Yes, when we bring out the Torahs from the Ark, we will have 3 carriers. There will be 3 Hagba and Gelilas to lift the Torah up. It is always a wonderful thing, and one that I always need to remind myself about the choreography because it doesn't happen very often. But there's a bit of a conundrum. That is to say, 2,000 years ago. Don't worry, we've solved it now. You don't need to worry about the choreography. It's taken care of. But I want to throw back into 2,000 years ago when the Torah readings are being set. There was a question because the Torah reading for Rosh Chodesh is taken from the list of sacrifices that happen on the new month. Makes sense? You're going to talk about the new month. You talk about the sacrifices on the new month. It fits very smoothly. The Torah portion that was chosen for Chanukah, obviously is not about Chanukah because Chanukah is not in the Torah. It happened quite a long time after Moses was long gone. Instead, it is from the dedication of the tabernacle. And as such, it parallels the dedication of the temple during Hanukkah. These 2 different passages are not that far apart. They are both in Bamidbar. They are both in the book of Numbers. There's about, about 19, 20 chapters in between them. So if the Torah contains all of the book of Numbers, indeed the entire 5 books, why not just hit the rewind button? Actually, I'm going the wrong direction because of the order we would do these in, and roll back and then read from the other section for Hanukkah. Why bring out 3 Torahs, 2 of which are rolled to within, a dozen feet of each other as far as the scroll goes? Why bring out 3 scrolls when 2 would absolutely suffice? I mean, maybe we don't want to roll all the way from Genesis all the way into the book of Numbers, but come on, within the book of Numbers, how far do we have to go? Any hypotheses, if you don't already know the answer from prior study or investigation? Well, the answer is very simply put, it would be Tircha de Tzibora. That's your Aramaic words of the day. Tzibora you might recognize because Tzibur is the same as it is in Hebrew, and you all know about our Shaliach Tzibor, our service leaders. Tzibor does not mean service, Tzibor means community. It is the leader for the community's representative. It's a more literal translation of the Hebrew that we have listed for all of our volunteers each week. But Tircha you might not know. Tircha is a burden, a difficulty. It's a wrenching kind of thing. So it would be difficult for the community. Difficult for the community to watch me roll the Torah? It's my wrists that get burned out from rolling the Torah, not yours. But what will you be doing while I'm on the bima rolling back the Torah for 5 minutes?
Mine would wander.
Mine would wander, and you'd just be tired and bored. And, it would not be fun. So, this is a reason to schlep out an entire another Torah? Well, yes. First, the caveat, if you are a small congregation and you have only 1 Torah, then by all means, you can go ahead and roll from 1, 2, and 3 in order to make sure the Torah reading is done. That out of the way, every congregation that I have ever been with has always tried to make sure they would have at least 3 Sifrei Torah, despite the expense of that 3rd Torah. in order to avoid this problem. Because from 2,000 years ago onward, we know that doing something unnecessarily laboriously will weary the community. It will tire the community. The community will be overburdened by having to wait while the person is up there scrolling through. Now, if you've ever been in a service where something went wrong that was unavoidable, you may know how difficult and long those pauses can feel. Well, imagine if it was scheduled into the service that you're going to sit there for 5 minutes while we roll the scroll. And so our sages said, it's a tirchut tzibura. It is a burden to the community to make them wait. You need to get 3 scrolls, if at all possible, and have each one rolled so that you can go 1, 2, 3 without laboring the community. But you didn't realize that Judaism took your own care into mind so much that the rabbis of old, who would spend all day studying whenever they could, would actually worry that an extra 5 minutes for the community would be too much of a burden to bear. But see, that's the beauty, in my humble opinion, of Judaism. That Judaism does care about everyone. It is not a guru religion that is only pitching to the elite of elite, to some arrogant, snobbish version of the ultimate state of piety. Judaism, as we have embraced it, is very much opposed to that idea. If it would be a burden to the community and there is an easy solution, we take the easy solution. In order not to burden the community, we do not tell them to buck up and stop complaining. We instead say, you're right, we should do this more efficiently. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't necessary stringencies. We're not going to just skip the 3rd reading because it takes a little extra time. We're not going to remove the readings altogether because they take a little bit of time. We are going to make sure that we still do what we must do. But within the boundaries of what we must, we find things that work for the good, for the comfort, for the enjoyment of the community. It is that balance that has, in my mind, kept Judaism alive and vibrant. It has avoided the idea that Judaism in its purest form would only be found in some monastery or some temple high on a mountaintop. But instead, Judaism has always been meant to be enjoyed, embraced, and practiced by everybody, by the rank and file, not only by some elite, and has always given as a word of warning to the elite. Be careful of tirchut tzibura. Make sure that your own piety and your own ideas of grandeur do not weary the community. Judaism must remain accessible for them and enjoyable. Hopefully you'll find not only tonight's service, but also tomorrow's service enjoyable and inspiring, as Hanukkah and Rosh Chodesh and Shabbat should always be. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov, Hanukkah Sameach.